On Saturday at the Whitney, we we talked about it beforehand. Could Sovereignty get back in the winner's circle? You actually jumped off. It's your boy.
Been on him for over a year.
You jumped off and he went on Magnitude. I took Magnitude in the Foster, switched to Sovereignty. Worked out for me. Didn't work out so well for you. But as a Sovereignty stan, you still got to be happy to see him win, but got to be disappointed that this was the point where you jumped off.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done. I think I'm going to give him credit. It was a little reverse psychology. So it's because of me that he did win. But no, I'm happy that he's back on top, where he belongs. He ran like the champion 3-year-old that he was last year. So it's good to see, coming off the two kind of disappointing starts to 2026 for him to reclaim his rightful spot on top.
I will say though, I picked him, so my eyes are on him the whole entire race. When he's a good 5 lengths back at the quarter mile, you like that's fine, right? That's okay.
Then
But
half,
then
did you see how far he was at the half?
he drops back to 9 lengths. He was in 5th place. He was like 4 or 5 clear of Baeza and Tistastic, who were in last.
Well, to be
Over
fair,
that next quarter
every horse
mile,
was
he
4 or
drops
5
back
clear
behind them.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, at that point, I'm like, dude, this horse might really be done. Like, that was my concern there.
Rightful concern.
But then you see him with Baeza going on the outside. He's on the far outside, blows past Baeza. And really, like you said,
He blew by, he blew by everybody.
He just, and really, Nitrogen was the only one that really kind of hung in there. He had like a 3-length lead heading to the stretch. Sovereignty ends up winning by 4, almost 5 lengths. It finally did look like the horse that we saw last year, but also one of the reasons why I took him here, because this horse loves Saratoga. The 2 races he's lost this year have not been at Saratoga. Now he's back, and he's back in the win circle. Like, is there a coincidence there?
No. I think, what was he was 3 for 3, I think, at Saratoga going in?
His last 4 wins have been at Saratoga.
4 wins?
So, now. So,
no, there's no coincidence. I mean, there's not a coincidence there. No, I think, you're comfortable with some surfaces and some tracks, and others, you might not be. So that was his comfort spot, and it paid off.
He had a 118 Equibase, which was 10 more than his previous 2. So he increased his speed figure by 10 points, and it's his highest Equibase speed figure in his career. So not only is he getting back in the winner's circle, but he's putting up numbers that are higher than he put up during his 3-year-old season. And now this is a win and you're in. So he's in the Classic, and you just hope that we see him in that race after he scratched last year. And would be great to see a Sovereignty who's running well go against Forever Young in that race to try to get the win in the Classic.
Yeah, no, the Classic is going to be an absolute star-studded affair. Can't wait for that. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
But you were on me before the race for not including Nitrogen in my top 4.
Agree.
And the reason I did that is because this is a filly, or this is a mare going against colts.
Yes.
And she proved that she belongs and was unbelievable in this race.
Yeah, and it's kind of something similar to what you were just talking to about Sovereignty. Sovereignty going into this race had won 3 or 4 at Saratoga. But you go Nitrogen is 3 for 3 lifetime on the dirt at Saratoga. It's just a comfort thing for her. And that's where she's running her best. And then, just based on that, and not only that, but she won her last race. I know it was against fillies and mares, but she won by 12 3/4 lengths. Like, this just wasn't some, schmuck horse that you made her out to be. She's a really, really quality horse, and she proved.
And Mark Cassidy talked about it after the race. I mean, the 6 furlongs, they did a 109.65, which is really, really fast. And I think faster than she's accustomed to. So he was a little concerned. Could she hold on to the lead? And obviously she could not, and it set it up perfectly for Sovereignty. But to hold on for second after that fast pace, there was concern with her ownership group when Cassie was pushing for her to race against the boys. Because you have seen horses like Torpedo Anna and Swiss Skydiver struggle against, male horses in the past and really not find their form again. But I don't think there's any doubt that this horse belongs. Now, will we see her race against the boys again? I'm not sure. It looks like she's pointed towards going against fillies and mares again in the Judd Mott Spinster on October the 4th at Keeneland. And their goal is to get to the Breeders' Cup, but they didn't say which race at the Breeders' Cup they're pointing.
And then another thing, if you just look at the speed figures of nitrogen coming in and having that career best 117 equibase speed figure in June 5th, which is better than what Magnitude's career best was going in when Magnitude's was a 116. So, I mean, she's running as fast as these boys are. And, it's a little different when, you're out there on the track with them, but she's got the tools. She's got the speed to keep up.
Hey, if I trust the filly, or I hit the super here if I box it.
Yeah. I don't, because Magnitude was a bum.
Well, I mean, Magnitude's who I had in before her. Do you take Magnitude out? Probably not.
No.
But I had
Who did you have? Oh, you had You had Antiquarian, and I did not.
Yeah, and Magnitude did not get out to the lead. There was concern that he wouldn't because of Forge Still and Nitrogen both trying to get out there. Forge Still scratches. I'm not sure how much that really played a role, but Nitrogen is getting out front. Magnitude being second, basically third the majority of the way, and then just faltered in the stretch. We really didn't see anything from Magnitude at all, which was a shock. But I don't think, he clearly wants to be out front. His speed figure was 20 points lower than his speed figure at the Foster.
Yeah, that's concerning. That is definitely concerning. But it played out, in the beginning like you said, like we expected it to, with, Magnitude wanting to get out, but then Nitrogen probably going to be the one that's going to challenge him for it, and he just didn't have it. He didn't have it, and he fell behind. I mean, even before the top of the stretch, he was just losing ground. He just didn't have gas in the tank.
Well, I mean, horse for course. We talked about Sovereignty and Nitrogen, both loving Saratoga. Magnitude's never won there. Still hasn't. So, I mean, that's not always going to be the case, but that's why you look at that when you're handicapping a race.
It's important. It's definitely important.
And here's another thing. I like Baeza as a horse. I think it's just spectacular. He's a good racehorse. But
dude, he takes a nap. He just falls asleep he just takes a snooze in the gate every time.
How did this horse go off at 3-1 with 2 career wins and never can get out of the gate?
He takes a snooze. He takes a little nap right before the race starts. The bell wakes him up, and by that point in time, he's 3-4 lengths behind right from the get-go. Out of the gate.
Always charges. Almost didn't get in the money this time, but almost seemingly always gets into the money.
He was coming again. Yeah, he did his normal thing, but
I just don't understand how this horse is 3-1 with 2 career wins against this field when he can never, ever get out of the gate.
How do you try? How can Bill Mott train this horse to get off to a better start? What can he do?
I mean, there's practice what sprint horses do. I don't know.
It is amazing though. Time and time again, it just is always the same situation with him.
And you do keep thinking that he's going to get out of the gate, and that's why he's 3-1. But I don't know how.
You never think he's going to win. I never expect nobody. We don't expect him to win. He never wins.
And I think he had more money to place and show than anybody else in this field. And that we even talked about that preview. That's what he does, right? He comes in third.
That's what he does.
Yes. I just don't know how anybody would bet any kind of money for him to win at 3-1 when he's going against that field, and you don't think he's going to get out of the gate. And right away, I'm texting y'all, Baeza, LOL. Because he can't get out of the damn gate.
Yeah.
And White Barrio.
He's the old man is done. I think he's just done. He's old.
No, he is done.
Yeah, he is done.
His ownership group, C2 Racing Stables, announced today, what a ride, champ. White Barrio is officially retired. And what an unforgettable journey he took C2 Racing Stable and racing fans on. A 4-time Grade 1 winner, $8.5 million in earnings. He gave us more than we ever could imagine. Thank you for everything, White Barrio. we talked about it several times, just how cool it is to see a 7-year-old horse race in these races. I mean, he'd almost raced 30
27.
times.
Yeah, 28 starts after this last Whitney. Yeah, 28. Incredible.
So congrats to him for a heck of a career. And dude, thanks for that ownership group for allowing us to watch this horse
Yeah.
race for as long as he did.
Yes.
Because it's what horse racing needs. And it's not going to happen very often because
No,
you
it
get
doesn't.
Derby winners. They're going to go to stud. Like even Steven Sovereignty races a 4-year-old well, thank you for that because we don't get that very often.
No, and I imagine if he does go in the Classic and, you know, he doesn't scratch again and he goes off healthy in the Classic, and especially if he wins the Classic, that might be the last you see of Sovereignty. Would be my guess.
No, I would think so. I would think whatever he does in the Classic, I think the Classic will probably be his last race.
Yes.
I would be shocked if he came back for his 5-year-old campaign. But if they decided to do that, it would be awesome.
I don't think that's a wise business decision, but
it is probably not. But congrats to White Barrio for a heck of a career, and thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. So many big names in that race on Saturday. It was fun to watch it. It was fun to pick one right. You still need to get off the mat.
Yeah, the one time that I jumped off. I jumped off the ride. I'm getting back on though. We're getting back on.
You're back on Sovereignty now.
Yeah.
You know what that means. You've bet him every time.
He's going to lose.
Loses, and then he wins, and you don't bet him. You get back on, you know what's going to happen.
Going to lose.
The other big news in horse racing came in last week. We heard about the Thoroughbred Championship Series from Naira and Churchill, and we talked about that in the pod last week. Well, it turns out they were jumping and trying to get that out as quick as possible because they knew some other news was coming from the Preakness Stakes, as they announced that they're going to move the Preakness to 3 weeks and a day to a Sunday starting next year. I mean, big change in the Triple Crown.
It is a big change. And now, you look at the Belmont and it's less than 2 weeks. It's not even a full 2 weeks after the Preakness. So, what do you do there? Like, otherwise, the Triple Crown is basically now just going to be pretty much dead. I don't know what horse is going to run back on a 13-day stretch. I mean, I don't know, but especially a race that's a mile and a half, like the Belmont, like the beast of this Belmont is. I don't know. I mean, is this NBC? Is NBC behind this, trying to get better? I guess viewership of the Preakness is probably. I mean, I'd have to look at it, but it's most likely down because the quality of the fields have been so crappy. Derby winners aren't racing in the second leg. So if it's me, I think it's NBC that's behind this, trying to get better quality fields so you get more viewers. And then you bank on the Belmont with being that part of that 6-race series that you'll still get quality competitors in that. You'll get enough of maybe those second, third place winners or second, third place runners from the Derby that will probably skip the Preakness because there's no Triple Crown on the line, and they'll still point to the Belmont. So I think it helps overall.
I mean, there's a lot here to process. I think now even more than in the past, it's now either or. It's just you're picking, at least this year in 2027, whether you're running in the Preakness or the Belmont, with the Belmont being 13 days after the Preakness. NBC was a big part of this move. And they even talked about it in the press conference. And they said they've been trying to discuss a potential move with the Preakness as far as 10 years back. And now with the new ownership of the Preakness, which be in the state of Maryland, they finally got it done. I mean, the reason for this is 2 consecutive and 3 of the past 5 Derby winners have bypassed the Preakness, which that is the Preakness's biggest. It's their calling card. That's why people come to watch it. And of the 95 horses who ran in the Derby dating to 2022, just 13, which is 13.7%, have gone on to race in the Preakness, and just one of them have won. So they want to move it back to get people to race in the Preakness, which is obvious. But you've also, the Triple Crown is, for the next year or however long this is a structure, is dead because no horse is going to come back to a 1.5-mile Belmont after running just 13 days prior.
Yeah, no, they won't. And like let's play out the scenario here. So like let's Derby first Saturday of May. The winner of the Derby, with the way that it's set up currently with the Preakness now, going 3 weeks. Do you run the Preakness now and then skip the Belmont, or what if you win both? Then what do you do? And then the other side of it is I don't think it affects the Belmont too so much as if, like, in this scenario, though, the Derby winner might not be in your race, but the second, third, fourth place horses in the Kentucky Derby are probably still going to run in the Belmont, and they're still going to go for that $5 million what do they call that? The championship series or whatever they call it. Like, they're still going to go compete for that, and they're going to skip the Preakness no matter what. So really the only thing the Belmont will be missing out on is the Derby winner. That's a big miss, but you're still going to
Maybe
get some
not,
quality horses
but
even
maybe
without.
not. Maybe not. Like, if you know you're not going to run the Belmont 13 days later, you're going to go run in the Preakness. Like, you're still picking one or the other. Like, what's the point in running the Preakness if you know you're not going to run in the Belmont?
Well,
And
why
then
would you not run in the Belmont? But if you don't win the Derby, why would you run in the Preakness? Why would you not skip right to the Belmont and try to win the $5 million
I don't
championship?
know if
Whatever
if this is going to help the Preakness get horses.
It might
Like,
help. I don't know. I think no. It might help you get the Derby winner, but other than that,
think it
you're
does.
still going to get the ones that did not run in the Derby.
I don't think it does, because you know you're not coming back and running the Belmont in 13 days if you win. Even if you win the Derby and then you win the Preakness in 3 weeks and a day, and then you say we're coming back in 13 days to run a mile and a half, I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't know if this is going to be effective in getting horses to run in the Preakness. And I think we've seen more horses skip the Preakness over the last couple of years because the Belmont has been shorter. So there might be some horses that run in the Preakness next year because of their style, and they don't want to go a mile and a half.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be because the date has changed. It's going to be because of the distance of the Belmont. And I don't think you're going to see any horses that run in the Preakness that come back in 13 days. I think there's going to be zero.
No, I think there will be zero as well. But I mean, the Preakness is still going to get the Chip Honchos in the who won it this year.
Your Nap Solos.
Yeah, the Nap Solos. Like, you're still going to get that crop of horses that did not run in the Derby, or there was something wrong, they skipped it, or they scratched, and they come back in 3 weeks and then they run the Preakness. But yeah, the Derby horses, like I said, the only thing you're going to get may be the Derby winner, and like you said, horses that don't want to run a mile and a half. So I think it doesn't hurt. It's not going to make it worse than it is. So it can only help a little bit, but it's not going to be worse. Can't be worse.
I think it's now impossible. I don't think it was impossible before. I think it's absolutely impossible to get a Triple Crown winner now, which to me makes it worse.
I'm looking at it from the lens of the Preakness. Like, your race is not going to get worse because of this.
No, it won't.
I think it only helps you a little bit, but it cannot get worse than what it was.
But also, is it worth just basically ending the Triple Crown? And why aren't we having more communication? And look, I know it's... Is this
NBC trying to give the middle finger to Fox?
I think it's a lack of communication on both sides. I think Fox was trying to get rights to the Preakness. NBC ended up paying the most money to keep it.
Yeah.
They came together, like NBC and Fox came together for this championship series.
Right.
But clearly, and look, dude, was it Churchill being pissed off because they didn't get rights to it and they're sticking it to him?
Could be.
I don't know. There's a lot here.
There's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
And this is just temporary. Like, the Preakness could be added to the championship series. Maybe the Belmont eventually moves their date back a little bit. And if they do that,
how much room is there? Well, how much wiggle room is there for the Belmont to move back a week?
I don't know. Like, what was our idea? Our idea was to do first Saturday in May, June, and July. And to me, that would be perfect. Does that point us in this direction eventually? I don't know, but I think
does that run up too close? But does that run up too close to the other races in the 6-horse challenge?
Well, I think the Matt Winn is the one that is kind of close, but I mean, the Dandy runs at the beginning of August, so that would be another month, and then you got the Travers at the end of August, which is another month. So I think potentially it could still work. I mean, the Matt wins kind of a just throw in. It wasn't a race of this caliber,
Right.
but is now in the championship series. So I don't know. This thing it's going to be a model that changes. And dude, here's another thing too. The Preakness now with this change, next year on Sunday, you're competing against the final round of the PGA Championship.
Is it the same weekend?
Yep. And in 28, it's the same day as the Indy 500. So, like, you're competing against other big time sporting events when I feel like in the past you've had that. And they said they wanted to go to Sunday to make it like a whole weekend event, not just a one day, which you are. I mean, you got Black Eyed Susan Friday, but
you don't have to compete again. Like, what if, I mean, if NBC decides to go the route that they did with the Oaks and throw this thing under the lights at about 8:00 at night? You ain't competing with that. It actually runs right into it. You go right from the Indy 500 and final round of the PGA Tour, flip that channel, and you're right into the Preakness coverage. You got about an hour leading up to the race.
If they go late, yeah, I could see that. It's still, I mean, yeah, the Indy 500, as long as there's no rain, should be over. But still, it's on the same days as those events. I guess you could make it work, but the whole Sunday thing is odd to me.
You hate it?
I don't love it. I don't love it. Like, we're accustomed to big races being on Saturdays.
I mean, I would hate it if I was at the Preakness. And where's the Preakness? What's the track that's at next year?
It's going to be at Pimlico next year.
Okay. So, like, they're notorious for having great infield parties and having.
Now, look, it's going to be limited capacity. It's limited capacity for 1 year.
And then I would be mad if I was an attendee of the Preakness, but as somebody that's just going to be watching it on TV, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess not, but like, yeah, if you're going, you would rather it be a Saturday and a Sunday?
1,000%, yeah.
The Sunday move doesn't make a lot of sense. The 3-week move makes sense if you talk in Belmont Park into pushing the Belmont back to 3 weeks too.
Yeah.
But you didn't do that, and now it's either or. And for 1 year, it's going to be impossible to have a Triple Crown winner.
I guess we'll see how it plays out. I mean, it's a little trial and error here. You see how it goes year one, and you adjust.
Yeah. So, look, we've talked about how it needs changes, right? And I think that this championship series is a move in the right direction. I think they need to do it for the older horse division too. Like seeing that, like something similar with the horses that we saw in the Whitney over the weekend would be great for horse racing. So I think the majority of these changes are positive, and it's going to take some time, but maybe we get to a point where the Triple Crown is an option once again. It's just forever how many years it's structured this way. It's just not going to be an option.